Hey Raspberries, can you tell what day it is? Can you tell what time it is? That's right. It is time for the Razman to review Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Today, on the Razman's Reality. As you just heard, you all chose the first theme that was the Razman wrestling theme to now be the Razman's reality theme as well, which I guess we're going to go with unless I can find the information for the original. So thank you for your vote. Now, before I can delve properly into this review, I have to make a couple things known. First of all, the Razman's Reality Radio Show aired today, July the 15th. I actually don't know if the video review will get up. It's close to 6 p.m. and it's because I had to come home, eat lunch after seeing the film, and then re-render the audio from the radio show because the audio from the radio show was too big for the archive site. But that was my point, is that the Razman's Reality Radio Show, 14 Years of Magic, celebrating the Harry Potter saga, is now online at Mixcloud.com. So if you guys missed the live airing, you can go and check it out there. Also, you all wanted it, so you got it. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 fan commentary by yours truly is down below in the description box through Media Fire. And lastly, this has nothing to do with Harry, but I just had to mention it because it's such a huge deal to me and I still can't believe it's happening. Myself and my producer of the Razman's Reality Radio Show, DJ Bob, the host of the DJ Bob Radio Show, are going to be doing a joint show, a joint event, one show hosted by the both of us, and we're going to be doing a huge interview. We're going to be talking to Nick Bakay. Now you're thinking, where do I know that name from? The voice of Salem, the cat, on Sabrina the Teenage Witch. That's right, yours truly, who can say that Sabrina the Teenage Witch is his favorite show of all time, is going to get to talk to Salem the cat. How freaking cool is that? So I will make sure that you guys know when that show airs. I will make sure you guys know where you can access the archive. The archive may be up on both the DJ Bob Show and the Razman's Reality Radio Show archive links. It may be up in two places since it's a joint event, but I will make sure you have all that information for that huge interview. Okay, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. 14 Years Magic comes to an end. 10 years of film comes to an end. At least from the standpoint of there's no more new Harry Potter. Because anyone that's read Harry Potter or is a Harry Potter fan knows that Harry Potter never dies. It will forever be in our hearts, as J.K. Rowling herself said during the London premiere. No story lives unless someone is willing to listen, and Hogwarts will always be there to welcome you home. But this was the final new Harry Potter film. This is the end. So, did they do the end justice? 95% yes, 5% no. The film is extremely accurate to the ending. It is emotional in the right points. It is serious in the right points. It is action driven in the right points. It's almost 100% action, which this finale should be. The problem is the 5% they changed was a pretty big 5%. For one thing, the final battle between Harry and Voldemort was changed a bit. And I think they did it because they wanted to create more lines between the two, and they wanted to make it more theatrical. But since it was the final battle, at this point, I'm having a little bit of a problem digesting it. There's nothing wrong with the battle. It was a great scene in the film. It just wasn't word for word, scene for scene, moment for moment, the final battle from the film. So I was a bit disappointed in that. You didn't get as much time on screen devoted to Petunia and why she was jealous of Lily, which I would have liked to see. And the last thing is that Snape dies in an area of the castle, or near the castle, near Hogwarts, and not in the Shrinking Shack. So those things were a little bit jarring, a little bit confusing, but what the filmmakers said about changing Snape's death and where it takes place is that they said that it was because of the fact that they felt the Shrinking Shack was too confined of a space. And I guess I can kind of see their point of view. Other than that, though, this was a great movie. The film started out exactly where it should start out, which was with Harry, Ron, Hermione, and Luna in Bill and Flora's home. And that you have the powerful scenes between Harry and Mr. Ollivander, and then when Harry's trying to convey Grip Hawk? What was that? Sorry about that. When he's trying to convey Grip Hook to help them get into Bellatrix's vault to go after the first Horcrux, all the way up until the final battle. And the scene with the three of them after the Elder Wand is destroyed, and then of course the 19-year forward flash to Harry, Ron, and Hermione as parents, and the scene with Albus Severus was actually in there word for word, with Albus being afraid of being put in Southern House. So all of the key elements were there, and that's really all I'm going to say at this point, because it's a first watch, and anyone that knows about Harry Potter knows that with a Harry Potter film you have to view it 3 or 4 or 5 different times to be able to truly analyze it. So the Blu-ray review is where you'll get like the full breakdown. If I do another fan commentary, that's where you're going to get the full breakdown of the film, like analyzing every freaking thing word for word for word. Sorry for Toby in the background. He's going nuts because my mom is about to walk in, so I'll do my best to talk over him as always. My favorite scenes in the film have to be the way that they showed Snape's memories when Harry looks into Pensieve and he realizes Snape's true intention, and you get to see the love of Snape toward Lily. That was such an important part of the book, and they do it perfectly, except for, as I mentioned earlier, Petunia's story arc doesn't get as much time as it should have, but that scene was beautifully done. the scene, like I said at the end, where they return to the Hogwarts Express with their children, was absolutely beautiful. And of course, when Harry, quote unquote, dies, and he goes into that state between death and life, and he talks to Dumbledore. They did that so well. It looks like heaven, it feels like heaven, and the way the filmmakers did it was so brilliant, because in the beginning of the scene, it's just white. It's completely nothing but like a white ball of light. And then as they begin to walk through, Dumbledore asks Harry, "This is your mind. Where would you say we are?" Because Harry, of course, says, "Where are we, Professor?" And that's when you slowly start to see Harry's heaven version of King's Cross Station. And Harry has to actually say King's Cross before you start to see it filmed. Till you start to see it formed in the film, which is right out of the book. And yeah, I was just absolutely blown away by that scene. And telling Harry that if he wanted, he could catch a train, and Harry saying, "Where would the train take me?" And then, of course, the audience has to draw their own conclusion of that's how Harry gets back. And the whole thing was great. I mean, but as I said, I really can't delve too much into it. I expected to be able to talk for 20-30 minutes on this, but to be honest, this was 14 years of build-up, and I've barely been able to sleep for the last 24 hours in anticipation of this. And then yesterday I did the legwork with Adam for the radio show talking about Harry, so I'm just emotionally exhausted right now, which I think is part of my problem, why I don't have as much to say. So I may come back and do another review, because I am planning on seeing the film a second time in the cinema, so you may see something like the Razman reviews Harry Potter and then Deathly Hallows Part 2, a second look, or something like that go up. But I do know for a fact that when the Blu-ray comes out, I will have so much more to say. But for bottom line purposes, is the movie worth it? Absolutely. Is it great? Absolutely. Is it perfect? No. Is it as close to perfect as a film is probably going to get? Yes. And I also want to tell you guys and gals that I'd hoped to be doing this review in a brand new Harry Potter t-shirt for the final film that you guys may have seen it. It's the shirt with Harry and Voldemort with the Elder Wand in between them, and it says it all ends here. But unfortunately, Hot Topic was all out of the shirt, so I had to order the shirt, and it wasn't ready in time for today. So the next time you see me talk about Harry Potter, I will be wearing that shirt, so you can look forward to that. Hope you all enjoyed. Go see Part 2 if you haven't seen it. This is reality according to the Razman. And Razman style is not just a catchphrase, but a way of life.